Welcome, my friends, to a new interview from Cuentame USA with Moncho Camano.
Thanks
Same
for having us
guy.
on.
Thanks for
Every
having us.
day, every time it's the same guy. I cannot get anybody else to do it for me.
They love the way you talk, the way
I
you tell.
guess, I guess nobody wants to do this. Today, we're speaking with the members, three of the members of this band called Faunix. I think that's how they say it.
That's right.
Phonics.
Yeah.
That's us.
Faunix.
Well,
That's
us plus one other guy.
plus one other guy. So they're from Seattle, Washington, and they published their first, I think, album, long uh LP. I guess we can call it. Right? It's
Yeah,
called
yeah.
a beacon of chaos. Beautiful name. It was published April the 2nd, I think, 2024.
That's correct. Yeah.
And I got to probably listen this album maybe a couple months ago, more or less.
Oh, cool.
Eight great songs. Eight great songs. We're gonna talk about this album. We're gonna talk about a lot of things. Most of them, just pay attention to the members. Don't pay attention to me because I don't say much. So we're gonna speak with. Let's see. We'll start with Johnny Bischoff. Bischoff.
Howdy. Yeah, Johnny Bischoff.
Yeah, he plays. I don't know. He plays. I think these guys are all instrumentalists. They play multi instruments because I see them playing keys and playing drums, playing bass. I don't know. So
Yeah.
maybe they play bagpipes, and I have no idea.
Working on it.
We haven't
They're
recorded
working on
that.
it.
You got to do some things just for you, you know. You can't
Thank you, thank you. You see, some people still love me. I couldn't believe it. So then we got Ashley Claire Miller.
Yeah, that's true. That is my full name.
Ashley Ash
Good, you did
for the
research.
fans.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's a singer and plays keyboards, and she dances really well. I don't know much about that, but we'll talk about it.
Well,
And then we got Shane Hayes. I think that's how I say it. And Shane plays guitar. Is that right? He plays guitar and he plays and
on
bass.
drums.
What do you play? You play so
Bass,
many things.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see.
Straight around.
And then we're missing Nick.
I'm missing Nick today.
We're missing Nick, and he plays guitar. He plays drums, I think. I don't know.
Yep. Yeah. Guitar and
Yeah.
drum.
Guitar and drums. Yeah. So I listened to this band. I listened to the 8 songs, and they're expecting me to say something good about it. Yeah, it was good. It was good. It took me a while. Some of the songs, well, we talk about all the songs, but some of them it was like very catchy, right away. Very catchy, especially one of them. And then I have to pay attention. I like to do that, to pay attention to what they play and all the little instruments and all the little things that, you know. So I listened to the album many times, and the more I listen, the more I liked it. So it's a great album, especially for people like me who have good taste. So
yeah,
Very
good taste.
good, yeah.
And
I got good taste, right?
Yeah.
You say you're in the UK, right?
Yeah, I'm from the UK. I'm from yeah. I was born there, but as soon as I was born, they threw me out. I went to Spain, so that's the reason.
Yeah.
All right.
Northwest Spain, Galicia.
Galicia. Galicia. I love seafood. That's one thing I really love.
Yeah.
Seafood.
Yeah. But we draw a lot of inspiration from some UK bands. And it's interesting you bring up the album and being caught by certain songs because like organizing an album is kind of a process where you're like, I want this to be catchy, but I also want this to be really honest and true. And we wanted something that was different. And I think we all have like alternative sensibilities. But still there's like that pop, that kind of like fun, like Swords, I think
that's the catchiest one. That's the one I was gonna talk about.
Yeah.
That's the one with the video clip that I saw, the video
Video out
yeah, now. That's the one that was more accessible to the listener probably to start with.
At first. But after a few listens, everyone gets new favorites.
Yeah, but But there is a song we're gonna talk about it a little later. But I was gonna only mention one of them. It's called Pentacles, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, that song sounds very Arabesque, Andalusian, the guitar.
Yeah.
I don't know. It has something like from Spain, from southern Spain. I don't know.
Andalusia, something
Yeah.
about like North Africa and then
Yeah, it has some.
Yeah, definitely like the key and the kind of the overall like way that it's structured has kind of a call to maybe not just Western music. I think we're all inspired by so many different genres, and I think that we all are like very avid record listeners. Like we like to listen to albums through back to front. And while we were making the record, a lot of advice we were given was like, people don't listen to records anymore. People only listen to singles and playlists. Like you shouldn't be making a front to back record. And we kind of understood why we were getting that feedback and that people were trying to help us be marketable. But at the same time, we felt like it was really important to stick to who we are as artists and what we actually want to make. So we went ahead and made an album that's kind of, I mean, you certainly could playlist any of the tracks, but we hope that folks who enjoy like a full record listen will go all the way through front to back. It is kind of meant to be sequential and be an 8-track journey. Those are the kinds of records that I really like grew up on and really love still. And so we wanted to make a record like that. And it's been really amazing, the reception, to have a lot of people say, thank you so much for making a record that is made that way, because they don't find that so much anymore.
No, there's not much. If I think about new bands that they play this exactly, well, it's impossible to copycat any other band. Whatever they do is, you're never gonna be that band anyway. But I haven't find anything close to what you're doing right now. So I don't know. Something.
Oh, thank you so much.
That's exciting. That's awesome. Yeah.
I was going to ask a bunch of questions, but the album art and photography was created by you, Ashley?
Yeah, it's a film photograph of my mom, actually, and the way that it was processed is she's in a hot tub, and the water level is like up to her cheek, and so she's like floating. And so I printed that photograph, and then I made a paper negative of it. So all the tone is inverted. It's black and white, but it's invert. And then instead of dipping the whole paper in developer, I like splattered the developer onto it with a paintbrush. So that's why it's like dripping and there's like splatters. So it kind of just increases the like watery dream state kind of effect of that image. And I actually made it in high school, and I've just had it for a long time. And
cool.
Yeah, it just felt right for the first release for that image. I've always kind of held on to it, waiting for a use for it, and it felt like it fit the feel of the record. Yeah, if you in our physical copies, so we have CDs out now, and we're in the process of doing vinyl, but on the inside cover, you can actually see the original photo, so it's a little bit more clear what the original was. But yeah, digitally it's available just as the
Bandcamp, I guess.
Yeah, on Bandcamp,
Bandcamp, right?
And any of our streaming platforms have.
Right. You got I don't know. I know you were born in Redmond, Washington. Is that right, Ash?
It was, yeah. I was born in Redmond, and so was Nick. So Nick and I are like friends from childhood. And we grew up playing music together and jamming. And then we both kind of have gone on our separate artistic journeys. I got my BFA in dance.
Right. You went to New York, right? You went to NYU, right?
Wow, you really did very good.
Tisch School of Arts. Yeah, by Washington Square. Not too far.
I did,
yeah, I know.
Yeah, Nick and I actually both ended up going to NYU. He studied music and I studied dance, and we actually did not see each other very frequently while we were there. Because NYU is a huge school and we're so busy working on different kinds of art. And then we both ended up coming back to Seattle after college. I planned to go back to New York, but I started making some art here and just kind of found that especially for an emerging artist, the community here was more supportive for me, and I was able to get more opportunity. And I kind of decided, as much as I love the inspiration and the exposure that you get in New York, that I was more interested in kind of being a creator that's connected to maybe a more intimate community. And then through that community, I met Johnny and Shane. Yeah, Seattle has a really incredible like jam community.
Of course, yeah.
There's Mo Jam at the Nectar Lounge on Monday, and then La Luz at the Sea Monster also on Monday.
My favorite is the Rabbit Box on Tuesday.
There's also a Rabbit Box on Tuesday.
Fun. By Pike's Market, like Pike's Place Market.
Yeah.
Really, but there's so many. Pretty much any day of the week you could find a
You can find a jam.
and
That's cool.
so we want to thank those people for providing wonderful community spaces, because it's really important when you're doing something or engaging in some kind of art to just have those other people that you share with, like for fun, like you bump shoulders with and talk about it, and it's fun, and you kind of train each other, but you support each other too, and that goes a really long way.
I was going to ask you also, Ashley, did you, because where did you study? Because you are you are artistic director, you took, I don't know, dance, I don't know how to, you see, I don't want to, but where, was that in New York? Because I've seen a lot of photos and stuff from that period. I don't know, 2013 or 14, I don't know what years.
Yeah, I definitely have the most photos of myself and video of myself performing as like a dancer during that period. And then I have a pretty severe advanced nerve disorder. So I kind of stopped being an active dancer and more of a choreographer when I graduated, but I still do love to dance, and I do it as much as I can. And it's definitely the dance community is a huge part of how we came together, actually. Like the group that is currently the Faunix band was organized for a dance performance, and then we just decided like, oh, we're going to keep working on this material, and then it became an album. So we definitely have been like very involved with the dance community, and you can see a little bit of that reflected in the Swords music video. We were able to have some of our friends be in the video, and you can see them, and we hope to feature them more in the future. And modern dance is definitely still very much a part of our world and what we work on, but yeah, I'm definitely a little bit more towards the music and like artistic direction side.
It's cool. I was gonna ask you, go ahead.
Oh, thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, we got together as a band for this performance that your friend was doing, and it was a dance performance, and it was fun. And then we finished, and we were like, wait, guys, you still want to play on Sundays, right? Like, you still want to practice, right? And we all did, so we just kept playing.
That's fun. Well, where did you get that name, Faunix? Like, I don't know. It's not a French word. It's like a combination of
a word that I
made it up. Just made it up.
I made it up. I wanted a name for all that kind of was like all encompassing for all of the different work that I do. So my dance and my music and any of my visual art. And so when I started having my own like professional work, I started making like dance installations with music and multimedia in like 2013, 14. And I wanted to create a word that if you Googled it, the only search result that would come up would be my work. And so I just kind of smashed some words together that I thought were aesthetic, and the .com. I really wanted to get like whatever my
great job. Because
that's like what I thought was really important as a 21-year-old artist, was like that I get the .com, which I actually think it is important for IP claims that I do own Faunix.com and have for a really long time. So it is a made up word. Although it has been pointed out to me in the last year that the word phonics, like with a PH, means like phonetic spelling in English. And so phonics is not spelled phonetically. So that didn't occur to me.
Bit of a pun.
I did not mean to make a pun, but I did.
Yeah, you did. But I was searching for this word, and like the closest thing that you will show up is Phoenix. I said Phoenix.
Yeah, sometimes the creative vision, what you meant, isn't revealed until much later after the project.
We'll say it was in my subconscious, and I take credit for that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Shane, you are also a photographer and writer, Shane?
Yes, yeah. I definitely
Right.
enjoy a lot of like nature photography. I don't do as many portraits and stuff, but
And you also have a band? Do you have another solo project, or you still on it?
yes,
Sea of Leaves. Sea
you
of Leaves.
please. Yeah, well
Yeah,
done.
Oh,
That's
one of
exactly
the
right.
one of the kittens has decided to join us. That's August.
that's okay. Do they?
Wait, tell us about Sea of Leaves.
I
She
do have
doesn't know.
I actually do have a new song coming out November 1st.
Okay.
A collaboration with an artist in Baltimore.
Oh,
Very
okay.
excited for this. But yeah, that's my solo project. I just kind of write instrumental rock, metal influenced things, but also
Progressive
acoustic
metal.
guitar and softer tracks.
Mm.
But I really enjoy playing with these guys. That's just
Okay. But you enjoy the other band more? No, just kidding.
Yeah, I would say if you really like Pentacles, Sea of Leaves has a lot of Pentacles-esque
Oh
tracks.
yeah.
Yeah.
What is math rock?
Good.
yeah. So basically, the simplest way I can describe it is, you know how a band will go 1, 2, 3, 4, and they'll start.
Okay.
You could pick any other number, and that's what I would play. So I play
Oh, okay.
in 7 or 13,
Hmm.
and I don't really mean to, I will say. I kind of will write something first and discover that
Hmm.
it's in a different time signature. But
Okay.
generally, a lot of music is counted in 4 or 3, and I just play outside of that pretty
Hmm.
often.
This guy stacks polyrhythms on polyrhythms. It
I
feels
like rhythms,
I
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I gotta look into that band. Sea of Leaves.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
cheers.
Yeah, yeah.
Something that's fascinating about Shane as a writer is that he's synesthetic. He has synesthesia, so he like sees music as like color and
Okay. I
it's
interview a couple artists. They have the same.
yeah, it's I think that like contributes a lot to your
Definitely.
writing style.
Definitely.
I also am like a very imagery driven person. And so it's like super interesting to work with someone who's like actually interpreting music as an image.
Yeah. It certainly influences the photography and painting that I enjoy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something about Johnny. I saw you. It's hard to find stuff about Johnny. I know he was playing bass in some youthful band, let's say. I don't know. I don't know much. You were playing in another band in the early 20s, maybe you had a little band or something going on. Well, I don't know much about you, but you should tell me. Tell me what.
You could say
How
I'm
do
the
you get into music? How do you get into music? First of
you
all,
could say I'm the mysterious element of the band.
yeah. How did they got you? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I love music. I've loved it since I was a kid. I remember the marching band would go down by my street and I would be obsessed with the drum line and just like tap along. And I was always tapping even before I got to playing drums, so much that like I'd be in class and like the teacher would be like, we have to focus on the lesson. And I didn't realize that I was tapping out beats during the lesson. One teacher got me a Home Depot square, like a carpet square to put under my desk so I could tap and not distract other students. Yeah, that was fun. That worked. That was very sweet. And then my mom had me do piano lessons when I was like 5, and then I fell off in 5th grade, but then in 7th and 8th grade, you know, when you start like kind of getting your coming of age music and getting a little emo and angsty, I got back into piano and I would play.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd play piano in our house. Started learning songs that I liked. I was really into electronic chill step, and then just started improvising a bit, and that helped me just feel more free with my feelings. Because I could play songs that I liked and meant something to me, and then I could just kind of discover. And I don't think there's a lot of people like want to improvise, but they think they're like not ready. And I don't think there's any skill level that you have to be to improvise. Like, I think somebody who doesn't even know how to play a song yet can still pick up an instrument and do something that sounds good or feels good and then follow that. And,
Just explore.
Yeah.
That's the nature
Wow.
of Faunix.
Yeah. And you have your own solo production work out that's on streaming services under Amber with 2 R's.
Yeah.
Right, Amber?
Yeah.
Amber Music. So you can listen to Johnny's solo work on streaming platforms as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that might be the band you mentioned, the early 20s.
Right.
And yeah, I released a song under Amber when I was, I think, 20 or 21, and I've been releasing a lot of music since then. I've got an album coming out soon that's
really?
yeah, thank you. It draws more from kind of like this silky ethereal guitar and like moody dulcet tones, maybe Jacob Collier would say if he had to describe it. I can hit up his DMs on, he might not respond.
You guys are gonna make me work hard now.
Please respond.
Jacob, please respond. Yeah, so that's a fun project, but I also love electronic and chill step and published a bit. But these guys inspire me, and definitely I think just spending more time around Shane and Ash is making me start to feel a little synesthetic.
It's spreading.
It's spreading.
Nick as well publishes his own solo work under his last name, just Duba. And it's really cool to have in the band. Also like these satellite projects that everybody's working on that keeps us on our toes and brings in new ideas. And I think that's how we're able to kind of achieve a sound where it's tough to describe. A lot of people will say, what genre is your band? What genre of music? And we are like, no, not.
There's so many. I was gonna ask you, but you could say so many things. You could say, I don't know, you can say shoegaze, or you can say dark music, dark ambient. You can say, I don't know, you can say anything you like. I could say rock. So it's like whatever.
Yeah.
I just enjoy listening.
Nick called it pop music for goths.
That's fun.
At one point.
Yeah.
And I asked Shane to write our bio, which is like in our press kit and on our website. And I asked him to just make up a bunch of genres that are absolutely meaningless. So like when you read the website and it says like melodic and night terror shoegaze.
I read all that. And I'm like, whatever they want to say is fine with me, you know. They describe it the way they feel it. I have no idea.
Genre in this day and age is so difficult to define.
It is, because I remember, you used to go to the record stores many years ago, and you'll have progressive music, you got classical, or you got jazz, and now it's like if you look in just one genre, you're probably gonna miss a lot of bands, So it's not worth it to do that anymore.
I assume most record stores we'd end up in like the alt rock section or something like that. But we draw so much influence from like hip hop. It's certainly not a hip hop album, but like a lot of the beats and things are very much influenced by that. My structural phrasing in some of my like lyrics is very influenced by my like love of hip hop, and so there's that influence in there. There's electronic, there's punk. There's punk, there's the math rock element, and then just like world music. I mean, we're very much open to like really anything.
So let me ask a dumb question. Who were your musical heroes when you were during your teenage years? You have maybe one or two.
For
any boy bands or something, Ash? I don't know.
My musical heroes. I think the first band that I ever discovered, like a record that really made me think, like, wow, music can really connect with me in this way. Like I always loved music, but this is like a bigger connection, was Modest Mouse. They're also from the similar area that I grew up in, and so they're like kind of local hometown heroes, and I love their records a lot, and how strange the lyrics were and unusual the kind of structures of the songs were. And then I discovered Radiohead, and still to this day very much like huge influence Radiohead and all of their kind of offshoot projects. And then I would say like Portishead as well. And like the vocals and the kind of trip hop, where it had a hip hop influence, but it wasn't, and it had an electronic influence, but there was also this really organic, like emotional vocal over the top. And I think probably those are my like young three influences. That and a lot of hip hop. My brother and my cousin used to play me like MF Doom and Wu-Tang Clan and all that stuff. So yeah, those were my early like childhood.
So vocally speaking, Ash, are you more influenced by male or female singers?
That's a great question, and it's a question I ask myself a lot. I think that I have a lower like a even for it's I'm 5 feet tall, so people always are.
Oh, you look taller on stage.
I wear very tall shoes sometimes, but I think
Okay.
it's also just kind of that I'm like I like to jump up on the
Yeah, I've seen you on the keys
if
jumping
there's a
around.
catwalk, if I can step.
Big energy.
I like laid down on top of a monitor at one of our shows recently and almost fell off the stage. I was like, oh, I thought that was heavier. But I think that if I would like initially have answered that question when the record came out, I felt like it was mostly male vocalists. I was like, oh, it's Tom York, it's Isaiah Brock, it's this kind of thing. But when I think it's like Karen O, yeah is like also a huge early influence. Like that's what me and Nick used to play together. Is like I would try to be Karen O, and he would be Nick Zinner, and we would play Ya's songs, and so that's a huge vocal influence. Beth Gibbon from Portishead, huge vocal influence. So I do think it's pretty 50-50. I mean, I have a lower vocal range, and so it's easier for me to like cover and sing songs that are written for men to sing usually, but I would say it's very balanced, much more balanced than I initially thought. I kind of went through like a weird crisis when the record came out where I was like, are all my influences men? That makes me feel weird. And then no. Absolutely a lot of incredible feminine influences.
Yeah, Warpaint.
Warpaint. Oh, Erykah Badu.
Warpaint.
Grew up on Erykah Badu. Still listen to her all the time.
So if we can say, what aspects of your personalities do you think you are most expressing in your music?
That's a great question.
Defiant.
Defiant
is a word that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Bold.
I would say curiosity in terms of exploration. I think all of us feel very safe exploring new sonic spaces together. And that's where I think some of our best stuff has come from, is just curiosity together,
I think there's some very vulnerable moments on this record for me too that I'm interested in diving further into. We're in process recording our second record now.
Oh, really?
We just started a few weeks ago, getting some things down as kind of early recordings, and I think there's going to be a little bit more of that vulnerable aspect in the future. I think it's just that's where it feels a little bit more risky, the more you kind of put yourself out there. I think for me, I also work a tech job, and being a woman in tech requires a lot of kind of oh, hello again, August. It requires a lot of for me to walk into rooms that are primarily male. A lot of the time I'm the youngest person in the room, and I'm a woman, and I'm kind of alternative looking, and there's a lot of things that make me feel other, but I've had some incredible role models who have shown me how to be kind of a strong and forceful presence there, and so that I could find success. And I think a lot of that ended up coming through on the record, where there's a lot of defiant anger, and a lot of like for me it still comes from a place of love, like a place of wanting to create positive change. It's not a place of like destructive anger or like non-inclusive, like I mean there is a track where I like curse at folks, but I mean it in a sort of like kind of sweet way, and very much like it's a little bit taking the piss out of
your lyrics. I don't know who write most of these lyrics. Is it you, Ash?
Yeah, I write all of them.
It's all Ash.
You're sometimes you look like very defensive, like attitude, like questioning things. I don't know. It's a lot of conflict and disagreement, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I feel a lot of that just in especially like in the United States right now. I mean, just the state of our culture and our politics. And this is Seattle is my hometown, but it's been really overrun by tech. I only work in tech because it was kind of a
Right.
Can't beat them, join them. Like I'm going to get pushed out of my own city if I don't join this, but I don't want to be here necessarily. Not to say that I haven't learned amazing things while being there, and there are parts of it that I actually was surprised to find that I was enriched by, but there's a lot about that culture that I find toxic, and there's a lot about American culture that I find toxic, the internet culture, just kind of the way that things are moving. And I feel like I'm not alone in those feelings. I think they're just not being voiced because people don't want to rock the boat, and they do want to get likes, and they do want to please the algorithm, and they do want to do things a certain way. Feel resigned to have to do that. And I kind of wanted to see if maybe that was not true.
I think in many ways that's why we chose to do this album when everyone's telling us to do singles and all of this. And I think that particularly with Ash's lyrics, they capture kind of an introspection or a self-reflection, and kind of finding your own conflicts or doubts or questions. But I think that a lot of the outrage that's kind of present in the album is more in seeing that kind of conflict in the external world. It's kind of lyrics that can reach internally and are speaking for the world that we're sharing. And so I think she does a great job of kind of voicing that aren't usually voiced.
Yeah, all these songs, they have a common thread, I guess. There is a relationship between all of them, the 8 songs. You're telling me that you are working on a new album. Are there any leftover songs from this album that you're taking to this other album?
Yeah, there are a couple of tracks that were in early process, and we got to kind of a point with the 8 tracks that we had where we said, I think this is a good amount for now to try to get published so that we can get something out. We were already playing shows, but we didn't have a record out, and we were getting requests to play more shows, but we'd play these shows and we'd get audience members like, where can we listen to you? And you can. And so we wanted to make a record that felt complete, but we also had kind of this time constraint where it was like, there's no official deadline for when this needs to be done, but we do kind of urgency. So there is going to be a carryover, a few songs that didn't make this record that will be on the next one, and then there's a lot of new material too. So I think it'll be we're really excited. So my most favorite song that I've ever written is going to be on this next album, so I'm really excited about that. Cool.
Your album is like 30 something minutes long. Is there, it's time.
This one will be quite a bit long.
Well spent. It's time well spent for me.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well spent enough to listen again is what it's
I've been listening all this week. I got plenty of time, believe me. I could be listening to a lot of stuff. But
we'll make sure the second album is longer. We're feeling a full length for this next one.
Well, this is
Thank
cool.
you so much. Yeah, I'm really curious of your next question, but I was thinking I want to expand a bit, just thinking about the lyrics and the album and where it comes from and what Shane and what Ash were talking about. Like, I definitely feel with social media and the algorithm, and especially maybe it's pronounced more in the United States, but it's probably in a lot of places, there's like a lot of ego and image where people kind of build themselves up or build up this thing that is like who they are. And like, it's hard to be seen just for like surface level things, or like picking and choosing certain things, and kind of break through that with love. So it's like defiant and strong. I keep using that word, but it's like we're trying to break through the ways that things are with love. Like, after everyone said like the album, everyone was like, oh, you got to do singles, you got to do this, you got to do that, and we didn't.
I think You have a different strategy, I guess, to cultivate new listeners, we could say.
Yeah, they were inspired by it. They were like advising against it and with their best heart and their best intentions. But sometimes like you have to like not listen to people. And then they were like, hey, that's really cool. That's really inspiring. Like you can still do it. And like, I don't know.
It feels genuine.
Yeah, I think we took a risk, and we're really grateful to find that it's paying off. And I think when you are an artist and you really ask yourself, like, what is honesty for me?
Yeah.
You may not become part of the Billboard Hot 100, but that's who cares about that anymore, honestly.
I don't really care either.
I don't personally follow that. That's not meaningful to me anymore.
No, not because it's up the way up there, it means it's good, you know.
Yeah, for me, it's like I want to make a good project that reaches people, and if that means that it's a less amount, but it's a quality connection, that's more important to me.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'd love to play all over the world. We'd love to play big shows. We'd love to have lots of people listen to the record and see the music videos, but it's more important that
we make good
it's
music.
good and
you
honest.
feel good doing it, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Have no remorse for doing
no regrets.
Yeah, no regrets. You're gonna be performing tomorrow also, right?
Yeah, that's right.
At the substation, because I think I saw a couple of videos. You were there in August, or you played
We
there.
were. We're really happy to be returning to the substation in Seattle. Very cool venue.
Yeah, you're gonna be with what is this other band that I know, Bosch, right?
Bosch, yeah, they're touring, so it'll be our first time meeting them.
Yeah, say hello to them.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, some guy that you know.
Of course.
Will do.
Yeah, I think they're gonna put on a really great set, and so it's gonna be really fun to open for them. And
so it's tomorrow before 7? 7? What time?
Yes, begins at 7. So there's also another band, Stave, that's gonna open, and then we'll play second. And then
next. How many songs you got prepared to do?
You
don't know?
I know
it's like 8 to 10 long. I mean, we picked from like 16, 17 tracks and some covers.
Yeah, right. I was gonna ask you about covers because you guys do covers.
So there's 9 tracks on it, but yeah, there's a Bjork cover in here and the Puma Blue cover, and then there's 2 tracks off of the upcoming album. So yeah, we're playing some of A Beacon for Chaos, couple covers, and a little preview of what's to come.
Do you guys think about outfits you're gonna wear, or you don't really care about that stuff?
I think
Yeah, we are all very fluid in what we wear on stage. I always say that I have this like internal struggle of like, do I want to be like an ultra feminine, like power image, or do I want to like wear like what I'm wearing, like my cozy sweatshirt and my like sweatpants and my tennis shoes, because then I can run around and dance more, you know? So it's always, for me, it's a constant fight between like, do I want like a lot of pageantry in the costume, which is as a person who has a BFA in dance, like I love it. Or do I want to be kind of more how I am when I'm actually dancing, where I can move and be comfortable. So for me, it like really depends on the day. It depends on the venue. Like if I'm going to have a lot of space to move, and I don't know. I know y'all pick your clothing kind of just based on your daily mood, and very much the weather. Oh my goodness. We did a long run of summer shows. So you see us all trying to
accommodate,
to do fashion while also like not overheating.
Right.
Seattle doesn't have air conditioning in a lot of places, so when it gets hot in the summer, you're just hot. That's
I understand. Well, whatever it is, music means more when there is people around, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Even if we're all sweaty,
okay. No matter what. How long does it take you guys to set up your stuff, your gear, more or less?
That's a good question.
We ourselves are pretty quick. I mean, I'd say like 10, 15.
Yeah, we have it down to a science. We've practiced a lot. So
comes down to the sound guy usually.
Yeah. The room that we're in right now is my living room, but it's actually set up. You can see like a wall of amps behind us, but behind the couch, and we've got a mixer over there, a drum kit that's always set up. My synths are over there, and actually the cables for them like run under my rug and stuff so that they can go into the PAs and the mixer. So we have kind of set up for our rehearsal already this hybrid situation where we at the beginning of every rehearsal kind of have to do the setup, but that I think that makes us a lot faster at setting up when we're live, and it doesn't hurt that Nick is a professional sound technician and these guys both produce and know, you know, we know a lot about how to set up our own gear, so we kind of have it down to a science now.
So you guys hang out together a lot?
We do. Yeah.
We live, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes maximum
All
from
from each
other.
other.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, so you know what you do every day. You know.
We spend a lot of time together, and we rehearse once a week, at least. On Sunday, we rehearse for like 4 or 5 hours at least.
Oh, really?
And then we may have additional times during the week when we work together, but at the very least, like Sunday is kind of our day where we spend a really solid chunk of time, and I think that's what allows us to be well rehearsed,
a good team,
you know, a really cohesive team.
Yeah.
Is consistent.
I wish I could see more of you and, you know, more on YouTube. I was like searching to see anything that I could find.
We'll get another live video out for us.
We did a set at a venue called the High Dive, which is in Fremont, in Seattle, and we were so fortunate that so many different folks in the audience took great video and sent it to us. I had like a professional like camera out. Other people just sent us really nice like mobile footage, and she was able to piece together the entire set. So we're going to be able to put out like front to end set video that's about 45 minutes long probably. And then a second music video for Pentacles should be out in a month or two. We just started shooting it.
Working on it.
Yeah, we shot
Pentacle?
Oh
Pentacles. It's gonna be real chaotic and
crazy. That's a great song that I like. That I know. So.
I'm glad we chose that one. We did it just for you, actually.
I know that.
We knew psychically.
I know you guys. You know my tastes in music. That's cool. That's cool. That painting behind it, a photograph of Venice. Is it Venice?
It is actually, but it's a charcoal piece.
Yeah, I cannot. You know, that remind me of my childhood. That painting. It did, because we had one of those very similar in the kitchen. I remember.
Oh yeah.
My grandfather used to be a marine merchant, and he was on a ship, and he had a big photograph of Venice and the ship in front. So I was every time I was sitting, I was looking at that photo every day.
That's amazing.
Like I see that like brings me back to when I was like 6 years old.
I love that.
Yeah. That's funny. I keep looking at it.
What's it like having a sailing grandpa and merchant grandpa? Did he tell you good stories?
Oh, really good story. Really good. He told me when he met Houdini. There's so many stories.
Awesome.
My grandfather, he collected all coins from all over the world where he traveled. I don't know, it's a big story. German submarine threw a torpedo and the first ship went down, and only like 20 something survivors. He was one of them. So many stories. Like he was an American citizen. He became an American citizen in the 50s. He came here and he became an American citizen.
Wow.
So
What a story.
What a journey.
Yeah, long story. So, you know.
Actually, that shipwreck from his lifetime, I actually am descended from a shipwreck disaster. If you look up the Faunix disaster in Lake Michigan, it was like a group of Dutch immigrants, like 400 people aboard. There are about 40 survivors, including some of my great-great-great-great-grandparents. So thank God, you know.
So
Johnny exists thanks to that.
Thanks to that.
And you exist thanks to your grandpa making it happen.
Yeah, it's true. And all from that painting of the thing I see in the back.
That's a good.
Yeah. Who is the most risk taker of the band, of the 4 members that takes more risks?
Oh boy.
Good question.
Do you mean musically or in life?
In life and musically.
Musically. Oh man, that's a great question. I think we're all very very open to experimentation and risk. Sometimes it can feel like I feel there's risk for like a female musician, especially like in the rock genre. I do find that there is still a lot of like sexism in the industry. I feel that it's still very male dominated. It's even in really inclusive, amazing spaces where everyone is welcoming, it's still primarily male dominated. So sometimes I feel like I'm taking that risk. And I think something that one of my like mentors at work said to me once was like, is doing what you're doing, even if sometimes people say negative things or people are a little bit like resistant to you, like, is what you're doing making it easier for the next person like you to do it? If the answer is yes, then you're doing good work. And so for me, I feel like being in the space already is risky, but I do think that we all take a lot of risks artistically. We're very open to experimentation, and I think together we are all braver in taking that risk, like the support of each other. I certainly have become a bigger artistic risk taker as a result of working with the band.
Yeah, I feel that as well.
Yeah. I think I would describe our like jams together as it feels very supportive. Like it feels like when we play together, each member is listening, especially when it's really good, like everyone's listening really well to each other. And once one person ventures in a new direction, maybe they're expressing something they're feeling that day or from the week before, everybody else kind of rushes in to support them. And
in that choice.
Yeah. Even if it's like a wild, or especially if it's like a wild or strange choice, everybody still rushes to support. And that to me has really helped me feel comfortable expressing and sharing things and helped our evolution. Like we've never had a moment where we're like, stop. What was that? Or like it should be this. Like you're doing something, it should be that. Like it's never should be. It's like that was interesting for how this sounded, and
could we try this?
Could we try this? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing we could say about A Beacon of Chaos, I guess we can say that you guys haven't not accomplished everything you wanted with this album. You still have many,
a lot
more
to say.
A lot of things to offer, right?
Yes. Quite a bit more. So
this is just like a snack,
Yeah.
It's a snack.
The introduction.
Yeah, we felt like it was a happy introduction, but yeah, we can't wait to release what we're working on now.
Yeah, this is an hors d'oeuvre. It's like a charcuterie board of an album.
Right.
If you will.
Like a tapa, tapa in Spain.
Yeah.
Tapa, That's
un disco de tapa.
Tapa.
Probar otro.
So we can say that, Ash, you don't really need a cohesive story to write a song, right? We could say that?
Yeah.
Or you really need one?
I think that my lyrics, for me, the writing that I really connect with, in like melodic writing, singing, a lot of the time is more vague and doesn't necessarily tell you exactly what the story is or exactly what the what should you be thinking about, but it's more to create an atmosphere and to try to let people project their own interpretation of it. I write a lot. A lot of the music that we write in general, including the lyrics, is we jam, we improvise. I review a ton of that material, so do the other band members. And I review things that I kind of said and did in the moment, and I pick things that really stand out and speak to me. And sometimes they're really abstract. Sometimes I can't tell what I said because the recording is washed out, and it's kind of like an ink blot test of like, what do I hear? And so I think it's very much like a feeling that you absorb rather than a story that's being fed. And I think I have, if we got really specific into a certain track, definitely stories that feed into it, personal stories that influence is like the imagery that I picked, but there is not necessarily a story that like must be told in each song.
Right.
There are more worlds that you can kind of explore. And
Right. So when you create your music, it's more like a free form, right? Improvisation, more like a
yeah,
song
we
form,
do
I guess we could say.
eventually narrow it down during, I honestly think it comes down to the recording process when we really say, okay, we're recording it. Now this is what it's going to be, and then we will, for the most part, that's what we play live after the recording is done. But in the writing process, things are constantly shifting, and it's still got a very strong improvisational vibe.
Yeah.
Right.
We had played.
Yeah, go ahead. Go.
I was gonna say, just coming to mind, we had played Mixamataiko, for example, live many, many, many times. And the main guitar part that I have in that song, I didn't write until the studio.
Yeah.
Oh,
And, I was performing the song without the part being, written.
Without your main part, yeah.
I was gonna name it that song, but I didn't want to say it like it. I didn't know how to say it.
It's a tough one to say.
Yeah. So I said, just put it on the side. I don't want to mention it because I don't know how to say it. But
all kinds of confusing words for you. Yeah, Mixamataiko, the name
yeah.
reference to Mixamatosis, a Radiohead song from Hail
Oh, okay.
The bass line in Mixamataiko is like
Similar.
is almost, it's a little bit altered, but it kind of that song kind of explores the idea of like sampling and bringing in like other influences. Taiko the band is a big influence on that song, like the synthesizer work and
everything makes sense.
And then at the end of that song, the lyrics are actually pulled direct from like a deep cut Modest Mouse EP. So that like that whole song is very referential, and it's about kind of taking these past influences and putting them together. And we wanted the title to acknowledge that. We didn't want people to think that we were trying to hide this, right? Like we kind of wanted the influence to be very out there for everyone to see. So if somebody did go, hey, isn't that Mixamatosis? It's acknowledged. It is.
What about Moderator? That's the longest song, the length.
It might be.
I think so.
Might be, right?
Not surprising, actually, but it might be.
Yeah.
Moderator was written very much in collaboration with our producer, recording engineer, Larson Hackenstad. I had brought to him the demos that we had, but also talked to him a lot about the vibe that we wanted to create. Like, what did we want the overall aesthetic to end up as? Because ultimately, in that recording and production process, he was going to select for us a lot of different tones, put things through different pedals and effects, and record things with different methods. And so I kind of described to him what we wanted it to be, and he sent me just the bass line and a little bit of synth, a really short little clip. And he was like, this is kind of more the direction I see you guys going in. And so we just wrote an entire track based on the little sample that he gave us and brought that to the studio. And we're like, hey, we built out your demo for us into something. And so that's Moderator. It's really got the most kind of electronic drum machine sounds on it. It skews a little bit more in the direction that I think he had in mind prior to us actually arriving in the studio. And then when we've talked about our studio experience together afterwards, he said, I thought you really wanted to go in this super electronic direction. When you guys came in, you had a much softer and more open kind of approach. And so we ended up with some other things on the record too. But Moderator, I think, is a reflection of kind of that that original ask of the producer.
That's a cool song. I really enjoyed that one too. I was surprised by your album, let me tell you. I was challenged, which I like that,
It is a big chaos,
I like that, I enjoy all kinds of music. Some they just go in and out. It depends, if it's like very poppy songs, they enjoy them, but others I have to think more about them and all the details and everything. So I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the album a lot. So there are all the songs. Some of them I like more than others, but
of course, that's the way of an album.
The songs that I like today, I may like. I don't like as much. Maybe tomorrow I like a different song.
Yeah,
Might spend your mood. Yeah.
our favorites change too. People always say, "What's your favorite off the
Yeah,
album?"
it's like it's hard to
Why
say,
we
right?
chose not to release a single was we couldn't decide on one.
Right.
Moderator got talk of being the single, from the Tycho, Cups, and then our mastering engineer Ed Brooks, who is amazing,
Brilliant.
Seattle legend, does a lot of mastering work, resonant mastering over in Madrona, Seattle. When we came into the mastering session, he said, "Oh, so Swords, that's going to be your indie pop hit."
That's the one. That's the one
I
I thought it was.
We kind of went, "Oh, well, if Ed says so,
That'll be the
that
first
makes
music
sense."
video.
And so that's why we decided to make that the first music video.
Yeah.
And we really wanted to encourage people to listen later on the album, and we had a really vivid music video idea for Pentacles, and so that's why we chose it as it. Not necessarily that it makes the most sense as a single, but that like we did want.
Probably that's the one that I saw first. To tell you the truth, I think it might be that one because I saw the video clip, I saw the dancing and like.
I can't wait for you to see.
This is different. I'm like, this is different. So let me see who these people are. Let me see who they are. I have no idea. Faunix, where are they from? I don't know.
Yeah. What is some music that has challenged you lately? Just listening throughout the world of music. Like, what are some music? What are some songs or albums you've liked lately that have been a bit more of a challenging
to listen to?
Yeah.
Some metal albums, but some death metal. Probably those are the more challenging to me because sometimes I really hate them a lot. Like I don't. And then other times I really enjoy them. Depends what I'm doing the day. You know, if I'm angry or I'm cool or stuff. You know, so it all depends. A lot of German bands and Finland also. But yeah, that's about it. But lately I haven't listened to much heavy stuff. Like very light music. You know, I'm in a cool mood. I don't want to be angry. I'm already angry with politics, you know, every day. So I'm trying not to get angrier. So I listen to a little more relaxing music.
That sounds
good. That's the way I'm going. I might not be able to interview you next year. Who knows?
Who knows? I think you will be.
I hope so.
I hope so too. Dive by Tycho is a beautiful album.
Oh great, relaxing.
Yeah, we brought up Tycho earlier for mixed with Tycho, but also like the blue color tone of your screen and you talking about Galicia. Like next time you're on a beach, especially like a beach somewhere, around there, throw on Dive by Tycho.
Master. Yeah,
very good album.
Well, when I went to your website, Faunix.com, I guess it is, right? I entered the void. And I put my headphones. I got my headphones, not these garbage things. But the real headphones. And
it is playing noise.
Yeah, I entered the void. That house.
The
abandoned house. Or whatever it was. The haunted house. It's some different stuff. Very interactive website. Beautiful images. I don't know. It's very cool website. Different from every website I've seen lately.
Yes.
Thank you. I really.
A lot of those.
Yeah, very interactive adventure. Should I press this or should I go back? I was like,
that's
the music. The music are really exciting music. I really enjoy that.
Thank you. Yeah, you can find a lot of our demo tracks and things that are in progress. Throughout that website, and so we wanted it to be it will eventually develop into something where it can also link out to show video, where it can link out to our collaborators work, where you can find merchandise and show info and things like that,
band lore,
more information about us as individuals. But at the moment it's kind of the bare bones because we did John did all the coding for it and
that was
all that imagery ourselves, and so we use Gen AI to do quite a lot of it, and then Photoshop when needed. I make digital imagery CGI for a living in tech, so making digital images is very comfortable for me, and so together we were able to put together what we have so far. And Shane's wonderful brother Rory is taking over some of the coding now to kind of make it run a little smoother and be a little bit more sophisticated. And from there, it'll actually contain a little bit more like of the content that most people expect from a band website.
I don't know. I'm more drawn to the feeling of like a dungeon crawl, like going through, you know, like a early video game or like a Skyrim or Oblivion where you're going through a different adventure and it keeps revealing more mystery. Like I'd love to make the it's going to be a repository for a lot of things. Sometimes it can link out, but what I would really love too is for like kind of some self-contained stories, like a storyline, or other. It's like to me it feels like an avenue that we can express certain things, certain art that like maybe it's incomplete. Oh, this is a demo. Oh, we played that once, but we're never gonna play it again. Like, it's fun to share, and it kind of places it in this imaginary location that we're trying to fill with like mystery and exploration and like that.
I think an early childhood influence of mine that I missed is definitely Gorillaz, and I was very in love with their first still very in love with their first record. There's a lot of experimentation on there, great featured artists on there, but they had always these story websites that you could go play and could find out a lot more about the music. And obviously this band is cartoons, so their story made up and fancy and really over the top, and we kind of like drawing off of that made sort of a fantasy version of ourselves where like it's very campy. And I mean, we obviously don't all live in
abandoned house in the middle,
mansion,
guarded by a crow.
But it is very much influenced by our actual stories. But we kind of created these like fantasy versions of ourselves for the site. So
now that's what I'm talking about. That's what I love it for. That's what I want to see.
Yeah,
maybe you can find merch down some strange cave corridor someday.
Right.
Golem creature offers you Faunix merch, but I love that aspect.
I like the idea. It's really cool for me to, it's something different, from other bands,
really
usually you always get the same thing, the bio and the tour and merchandise, but nothing like that. Nothing close.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Similar to like releasing an album that's meant to be played as an actual like album. We kind of wanted to reach back into the early internet, like Flash websites where there was a lot more interactive stuff like that to promote different projects. Donnie Darko also had an incredible website that was like that. Me and Nick were obsessed with Donnie Darko when we were kids, and we are always trying to understand that story better because it's very vague and open to interpretation of exactly what is going on. But the website had all this kind of I mean, you can't do a Flash website with pop-ups like that anymore because everything is pop-up blocker. But it was amazing, it was fascinating, and it was creepy, and it had this big air of mystery, and so we wanted to kind of cultivate something like that.
Yeah,
that was great. I'm gonna keep clicking on and see if there is something new for me to
it will be updated. Check back sometime.
That's good motivation. Sometimes I'm like, do I want to crack open a laptop and type some code, and finding out that chavales como tú are like clicking around and checking it out. That makes me want to.
I'm gonna keep clicking on it. So you better put something in there. Do some work.
Yeah, we'll do. More mystery, as long as it's shared, as long as there's good people experiencing it like yourself.
I like it. So just to close out the interview, I had too many questions, but I just want to recommend my viewers to go to Bandcamp and buy that beacon for chaos, we could say. And I don't know if you have any merch in there yet. No, you don't. Do you have?
Not yet. We will. Johnny is wearing some of our merch right now.
I see the sleeves.
Available at our live. Available at our live show.
Okay. All right.
We will get it online and
get something over there. Don't put your cat for sale. The cat is not for sale.
Obsessed with the cats.
Yeah,
they're very, very sweet.
Your dog's not for sale either.
Yeah, no.
I got 2 dogs, but they're not for sale either. So
Yeah,
I
it's
tell,
really
yeah,
nice,
yeah, I tell my viewers all to go their YouTube site. You know, click a little bit.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Some
Yeah.
views and clicks. That's what they need.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
It does help us out.
Views
share.
and clicks.
We're
Share
here
good
for the music,
content,
but it does
Yeah,
help us out and doesn't cost anything. So
yeah,
If you like it. If you have any friends that like going for walks with headphones on, and that ever show signs of being moody or feeling, like they love and yearn, but they're a little disconnected and they want something to recenter their spirit, that's who you
Yeah.
should share it with. You can't just share it with anybody.
right.
Those special friends.
That's cool. I'll do that.
That's it.
So yeah, do that, please. Go and check them out.
And check out Cuentame USA for more amazing.
Yeah, Cuentame USA is all right, you know.
Thank you so much for
It's the worst. It's the worst. Well, I don't want to say things bad about myself. How can I say that? You know,
Cuentame USA.
brilliant.
I got enough people. They say I'm really bad, so I
you're
don't have to
brilliant.
say it myself.
Yeah,
I don't have to say it myself. They already tell me. You know.
I enjoy
Why
it.
don't you bring these bands and this other band? Like it's so easy, you know, to get in touch with them and they're gonna show up and talk to me. Come on.
We're happy to.
I'm trying to. I got in touch with them because before they become famous, I got to get in touch before that, just right before, because after that, you know, they're not going in the trash. They're going nowhere. They don't go anywhere. They don't go in the junk folder. They don't go anywhere. They don't even show up. If you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm trying to say. So,
yeah. It gets
yeah.
hard to manage, especially. I mean, we're all our work is self-produced. We don't have a label. We don't have anybody helping us produce our work
Right.
aside from we have wonderful financial support from a few donors who are amazing friends to us and know that it's really hard for musicians and
Right.
have donated and then we pay a lot of our own money to produce the work. So and we are our own management team and our own media team and everything. So it gets really chaotic for a self-produced band, but I think there's beautiful freedom in that we're never told what to do. You know, nobody tells us something has to be published at a certain time or it has to be done a certain way. Like we can go make those decisions that feel authentic to ourselves. So
you look like you get along really well. I don't know Nick but he looks like a cool guy also. So I don't see you guys. I don't see you guys fighting too much. Once in a while, what the hell are you doing? Come on, let's get into the groove. Or maybe Ash, what are you writing? This makes no sense. What happened? You know, I don't think that happens.
This makes no sense. We like it.
This feels how I was
Let's do
feeling.
it.
Let's play this. I like it.
no.
So
Hopefully we'll get to see you next time. When album 2 is done, we'd be
of
happy.
course, I will get in touch with you again. Hopefully, I will get an answer for them. You know,
We'll
and I'll keep checking everywhere just to make sure that I got a response.
Direct to your junk spam folder.
Yeah, that's what I'm going. I'm gonna head over there first and see if I find something. If it's not there, then I'll say these people forgot about me.
Yeah,
Oh, man. I'm embarrassed now. You see, I really did really bad. That's why they don't want to talk to me again. And I was gonna tell them how much I enjoyed the second album, and now I have to tell it to my dog. Their second album is great, you know, but they don't want to talk to me. Well, I'll talk to you. How are you doing today? No. So thank you very much, guys. I really enjoyed it. And I appreciate your music. I wish you all the best. Say hi to Nick and tell him that, you know, I want to see him also next time. You know?
Absolutely. Next time.
And wish you all the best. And hopefully next year everything will be still running, and the country that we love, the United States, will still be called the United States.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?